Well, good evening, guys. So I'm going to jump up here tonight. It's Friday night, so we're going to talk some fishing here for a few minutes. I just wanted to let you guys know I'm really sorry about last week. I was unable to do anything last week. I was on call at the hospital. I'm a chaplain, so was not able to, jump up here and do that and do what I was supposed to be doing. So that is what's going on. I'm trying to find a document on my computer. There it is. So I've only been fishing a couple times. I've actually got some footage on my computer, or not my computer, but my camera right now that I actually need to edit and put up for you guys. It has just been crazy busy. I mean, crazy busy lately. So I have just, I haven't had time. So I figured tonight, jump up here, talk about what I've got going on. Really right now, the only thing fishing related really that I've got is I'm currently building a new flipping stick. And it's pretty cool. I can't wait to show it to you guys. It's one of the things I love to do. I love to build rods, and so working on that. I am going to say this because it was really, really annoying. I tried to sign up for the whole, Cast King release of the Speed Demon Elite Pro. What a flop. I mean, as soon as you got onto the site, it said, hey, you might not even get a reel if you donate this money. And I'm like, I'm not, giving my money away when I'm maybe not even going to get a product. And then I'm going to have to spend another $60 plus another $60. So another $120 to get a reel. No, not doing it. So I didn't do it. Maybe some of you guys did. If you want to, drop a comment down below. Tell me what you think. I didn't like it. Thought it was really, to be honest, terrible. Absolutely terrible marketing. And so, yeah, that's my kind of opinion on that. I can't wait to try the reel. I'll wait till it just is released to the general public, and then I'll purchase it. But yeah, that was definitely my thoughts on that. It definitely was not all that great. Wasn't all that well organized. I really don't know what happened. I mean, it was really bad. I'll admit it. So, but maybe if you did it, let me know what you guys thought. So, you may want to jump up here and tell me what you guys have been up to. It has been extremely busy time for me, my family, our church. We had our annual trunk or treat last night, and that was good. Had quite a few people that came through, so we really, really enjoyed that. So I thought that was really, really good. I have not had the chance, and of course, I'm just doing this as I'm, doing some other things, but I have not had a chance yet to check out that new swim bait. Um, I've really been wanting to. I did go out the other afternoon. That was my whole plan, was to throw swim baits, and so I had a couple tied on and fished with swim baits for about, I don't know, an hour and a half. Never even had a bite. Never had a follower, and ended up catching fish on a jerk bait. Like literally right there at the end of the day. So that's what I have been trying to do here lately. Planning on going fishing tomorrow, though, as of right now. We just had a major, and I mean a major, cold front push through. So I'm hoping, and maybe I noticed this. I went to a little small lake here in town, and there was a bunch of shad. So I'm thinking this major cold front, this is the first big one we've had this year, really ought to have those fish up, those fish moving. So I am definitely hoping to get out there tomorrow, catch some fish. I'm having a hard time trying to figure this stupid thing out. I'm working on a couple things, so sorry if I'm being a little awkward. So anyway, that's really what's been up with me here lately. And so I've been catching fish on jerk baits. That seems to be what's really been working the last couple weekends. Mega Bass 110 plus one. We fished a tournament this past weekend, and we caught all of our fish on jerk baits. And I actually tried the plus two, and I think it was almost running too deep. And then I also tried another plus one, but I don't think it was the right color. I think they were really keen on alewives, and so it was very, very tricky. And so we only had one jerk bait, and so my dad was actually throwing it. So he was actually the one that fish actually caught our limit. But every fish we caught I was on a jerk bait, which of course this time of the year, it's a very prevalent pattern. You throw your jerk baits. I threw top water. I threw walking baits, and I couldn't get anything. I really don't know what's up with that. The other day when I was on the little lake here in town, uh, shad everywhere. I've never even seen so many shad. Millions of them. And like I could literally take my jerk bait and throw it into the pod of shad and come back with like 6 of them on bait. That's just how many of them there were, and all big ones. So they're not yearlings, but they're at least a year, 2 years old. And so, but I still couldn't get anything on top water. I threw it, but they really didn't want it. It seemed like so. I did catch one the other day on spinnerbait. You're getting that time of the year where the spinnerbait. We talked about this in our fall bait. Spinnerbait's a really good bait to be throwing, and I did try square bill the other day at the lake here in town, but there was not a whole lot going on. And that's the way it's been for a little while. Just not a whole lot going on. I don't know if you guys have been following the Costa Championship. It's taking place maybe about 2 hours from my house on Lake Cumberland. And today it was just tough. It's tough on those guys, extremely tough. And, a few of them figured it out. I haven't checked the standings as of this evening. Maybe if somebody knows, you could drop it in the comments. But I think Andrew Upshaw is the one who is leading. And he was doing something a little bit different than everybody, fishing a little bit deeper. And, that's kind of one of those situations where when major cold fronts come through, the last fish to be affected are those fish that are, still out deep. It's those fish that are in, the middle to the final section of the pockets that begin to push their way out because of the cold front. And so, the water's beginning to fall. The lake temperature's going down. We had a really cold rain yesterday. So it's, just kind of tough fishing. And so when you have, that type of a situation, you kind of got to try to figure, what are the fish doing? Where are they at? How can I catch them now? And so that's what I noticed today. In particular, that's what those guys were really having to do. Is a lot of them were having to junk fish. I think it was Casey Scanlon. He was jumping back and forth from deep, shallow, and that's kind of typical. It's almost that late summer, early fall time, where you can catch them up shallow, you can catch them out deep. They're kind of everywhere. And I think it was the guys at Tactical Bassin the other day. One of their videos. By the way, if you don't watch their videos, start watching them. They give a lot of awesome tips, a lot of awesome content. They were talking about the fall transition, and one of the things about the fall transition is there's fish literally everywhere. From 40 foot of water up to 4 inches of water, there are bass. And today on FLW Live, David Dudley mentioned something that's very critical. In the spring, fish are all flocking up shallow. And then immediately after the spawn, you'll have some fish that stay shallow, but a good chunk of them move offshore. And then as the summer moves on, oxygen levels deplete offshore, as fish begin to spread out. And so this time of the year, you've got fish everywhere. And you can catch them 100 different ways, throwing 100 different baits. and there's not really that typical pattern that you can run in the springtime. Like, for example, here in East Tennessee in the springtime, I know I can pick up a jerk bait and begin to hit bluff walls, bluff, rock points, and I'll catch fish. So, but this time of the year, it gets really, really tricky. Just because you can do so many different things and catch fish, excuse me, everywhere. We're beginning to get into that time of year where you can begin to break out some of these cold water techniques. The other day I was trying a blade bait. If I go out tomorrow, when I go out tomorrow, I'm probably going to fish a blade bait because they're feeding on shad, and that's a better way to mimic a shad than a blade bait. We're also getting to that time of the year where the A-rigs are going to start coming out. And this is a really good time to, maybe focus more on the bladed A-rigs. There's a huge debate which A-rig works better. To me, I throw a bladed one year round. I know a lot of people disagree. It's what I like. And so that's kind of what I use. That's what I gravitate towards. But right now it's really good because with the bladed A-rigs, you get flash. And when fish are feeding up like they are right now, you can really, really do some damage with that bait. So, well, guys, hopefully I'll be able to get an actual video out for you guys. I haven't been able to do it in a little while. So, anyway, if you like the live streams, make sure you comment down below, like, and let me know what you guys are up to, how you guys are catching fish right now. Maybe if you're up north, are you beginning to get into that, late fall, early winter bite, or maybe if you're farther down south, you're just at the beginning of this fall transition. So let me know what you guys are doing, where you're fishing, what you're catching them on. Love to hear from you. Make sure you like, subscribe to the video. We'll make sure we catch you guys later. And thanks for tuning in once again to the Bass and Pastor.